So I see the land, I like it, I meet the sellers, I pay, and I move on from there. They say I can't do that, that I need to do due diligence. What is due diligence? It's not what I like that I buy. Why do I have to do some other work, pay some extra money before I pay for the land? That's the question I'm answering today. Welcome to Real Estate with Bimpe. Today we're talking about what is due diligence. What is due diligence in real estate transactions? What's all the fuss about? Why can't somebody just see what they want, like it, and buy it? Why must we just complicate the whole story and make it just look like it's rocket science? It's not rocket science. Today I'm going to be giving you a brief into what it is. Actually, this is going to be in 2 episodes, so I don't cram too much into 1 episode so you understand what I'm saying. First question I want to answer, but before I go ahead, do you know that my name is Bimpe Ariola and this is Real Estate with Bimpe, where we talk about everything real estate? If you don't, now you do. You are welcome. What is due diligence in real estate transactions? Very simple. Due diligence is you do your research. Due diligence is you do your homework. If you want to buy a car in Nigeria, you do some research. You will go there, you will request to enter the car. You enter the car, you look at the dashboard, especially if it's not brand new. You look at the dashboard, you want to ask a few questions, you want to see the papers. When you look at the papers, if you are somebody who deals in cars, you know the things you have to look out for. You are doing research. When you want to buy clothes and you go to a boutique, when you are not buying online, you know, when you buy online, do you see those videos that they'll do what I ordered as against what I got? I'm not there. I'm not there. I come in peace. But that won't happen if you enter the boutique and you ordered it and you went into their changing room to change and check it out. You will be paying for precisely what you want because you picked it and you went to the counter to pay. That is your research. If you want to try out shoes, if you want to buy shoes and you pick it up, you look at it, you wear it, you walk around, you look at your feet in the shoes, you want to look in the mirror. All of that is still conducting due diligence and investigating, doing your assignment on the shoes you want to buy. You cannot now get up and say, hi, see this shoe. You know, I didn't know the shoe was peep toe. Sorry, I'm talking to women. You know, I didn't know this shoe was peep toe. And they will ask you, did you send your eyes to Oyinbo Market when you were going into the store that you did not know that the shoes you bought were peep toe? Because you should have looked closely to know what you are buying. Let me take an example that is closer to home. If you want to buy jewelry, is it the same way you will price and you will handle costume jewelry that you will handle gold if you want to buy it? It's not now. Is it the same way you price? Is it the same way you have the conversation? No, it's not. For one singular reason, value is different. The capital involved, the cost involved is different. That's why you have to do due diligence in real estate, because it's not meat pie money, because it's not 1 month's salary. You know how long you've saved to get into this transaction. You know how much you've prepared, how far you've gone to muster the resources that you want to use to get in. You shouldn't just do it casually. You should do it with an intent of understanding what it is you are getting into. So must I conduct due diligence? Is it a by force thing that I must do due diligence? No, there's no by force. But if you do not do it, then be ready for a world of surprises. For the singular reason that property is such that it moves from hand to hand to hand to hand. The real estates that we are dealing with, the lands, the properties we are dealing with now, we didn't create them in 1900. They've been there since forever, and they have somehow moved from hand to hand. And the ways they have moved have been subject to cultural and societal acceptance of how they should move. So you need to understand that there's more to that land you want to buy than just you and the person selling to you. There's a history to it that might affect you today or tomorrow. Those are the reasons why you need to conduct due diligence. Even when you're buying property abroad, there are things you need to investigate. The questions you need to ask are determined by the environment in which you are buying. So it is in your best interest to do due diligence. However, because it is cost intensive, because you see it as incurring more cost getting somebody to do it, you can do it yourself. That's why I want to give you some basics that if you are willing to do the leg work, you will find out some things. What you may not be able to do is interpret the information you find out. That's why you will need a consultant. That's why you need a lawyer. That's why you need a professional. But you may be able to do the leg work to get some information, and you will get a professional to interpret the information you get for you, just like a doctor says, okay, you have these symptoms, go and do these tests. The next time you have those symptoms, you know the test to go and do. But when they give you the result, can you understand how the French that is inside the result? You cannot. You need a doctor. You need somebody who is vast in that learning to interpret the things that are there, especially the way the doctors write and the pharmacists. Don't report me to them. You need their mates to read what they write. It's the same way when you are dealing with real estate transactions. Let's go right into it. When do you do due diligence? If you want to buy a company, when do you do due diligence? Those who have bought companies know that you do due diligence before you buy. There's no point doing due diligence after you have bought, because you won't get your money back. Please, if you have bought property and you changed your mind and you got your money back, please tell me in the comment section. I would like to meet you. You know something I don't. So you will teach me how to get your money back. If you have done transactions before and you didn't like it in real estate and you got your money back from the direct sellers, please tell me in the comment section you got your money back. I will contact you and find out how you did it, because you don't get your money back. So you are better off finding out what you need to know before you buy. Let me quickly say that the fact that you conduct investigation does not mean you won't buy. It only means you know what you are buying. It doesn't mean you won't buy. It may be worth your while to buy at a naira and spend a times 3 to secure it. You are the one that knows what you want to use it for. You are the one that knows the value you place on it. And if that value is actually worth it, you might just decide to go ahead and buy. It's really your call. But you should at least know what you are buying. So you do due diligence before you buy, before you begin money transactions with the people selling. Who is to do due diligence? Everybody buying. The buyer, you must do your due diligence to know what you are buying. The agent, I suggest to agents that they should do it. You know why? It gives some credibility to what you are doing. It makes your transactions move faster. If you have a professional you are dealing with, okay, you want to market this property, is a juicy location, this and that, you do your due diligence. You are able to present the property already. In fact, it increases the amount you can charge, because the person can meet you today, read your report, interpret it, take a position today and buy tomorrow. Is a ready transaction. The person can buy the very next day. Agents too should do transactions. Please, sellers too, there are circumstances in which you should do due diligence on the person coming to buy from you. I wrote a book. It's called 15 Things Nobody Told Me About Real Estate Transactions. I explained a few things there about situations in which the seller should conduct due diligence on his buyer. I'll put a link that you can use to buy the book in the comment section. It's just 2,150 naira. There are some discussions there on when sellers should investigate title. Where do you do due diligence? It depends on what you are buying. It depends on what you are buying. There are different places you can do it. You can do it in the land registry, in court, in the family, in CAC. You can do it in different places. It depends on what you are buying. It depends on who is involved, the parties involved, the title holders, 2, 3, 4 transactions before your own. They are the factors that will determine how far you will go, what you will do to conduct your due diligence. That is why the time it will take for you to conduct due diligence is not cast in stone. It could be 5 days, it could be 3 days, it could take a bit longer, because sometimes you want to dig until you are satisfied with what you find. And if you are not satisfied, as a good professional, you will dig until you are satisfied. Or you will tell your client the inconclusive result and your client will take a decision. I usually carry my clients along as the investigation is going on, so they don't just think I'm wasting their time. I tell them things as they are happening. At the point at which they feel they are okay, they can go ahead. And what you are buying also determines the investigation you are going to conduct. Have you been involved in real estate due diligence before? Please share your thoughts with me. I'd like to know some of the things you found out, how long it took you, why it took you so long. Please let me know in the comment section. How much does it cost to do due diligence in real estate transactions? It's not fixed. Sometimes you are dealing with agencies, they have a fixed price of their things, and you know the way Nigeria is. So it's not fixed. And sometimes you only know the beginning. For example, you want to conduct a search at CAC and you ask for certain forms. You see that some corrections have been made on those forms reflecting some other things. You need to go and conduct another search on maybe another company. It all depends on what you find. What you find determines how far you will go. It's just like you want to go to the doctor to find out what is wrong with a certain condition. As you are going, except you are sure of what you are managing, you cannot say, don't worry, as I'm going today, all the story with everything will end today, except you are speaking by faith, because you don't know what you are going to find. Even the doctor, when you meet them, they will tell you, okay, go and do this test and bring it back. Then they will tell you the next steps. So it's not cast in stone. It's not about anybody trying to make you feel they are working for the money you are paying them by taking time. No, it's a function of the things you have required for them to do. And so the figure they are going to charge you is not cast in stone. The professionals they are also going to bring in are determined by what you are buying. If you are buying vacant land, the professionals I will use, because as a rule of thumb, I don't do due diligence alone. So the professionals I will use if you are buying vacant land is different from if you are buying a house. It's different from if you are buying a high-rise. So what you want to buy determines the professionals that I will use, all to protect your interest, because there are things that go on in developed properties that even those who develop the properties, they don't know those things happen in developed properties. Meanwhile, here's the thing. The fact that you do diligence does not mean you will see everything. It's just like saying you buy shoes. You know, some shoes is after you have worn them for 10 minutes that you will know the true color of the shoes. But imagine if you didn't wear it at all before you took it out of the shop. Just imagine. There are some clothes that, you know, if the underlay is a funny kind of fabric, you will wear it to look nice. It is when you start working, maybe you go and do a presentation wearing the outfit. That's when the underlay will begin to show you true color. In the same way, even when you are buying land, vacant land, you don't know everything about that place until you take possession. If you don't have an idea of what you are buying, if you don't know that, okay, this property you are buying, it belongs to a family of four wives, and of the 4 wives, you have met only 2, and those 2 are willing to transfer to you. Imagine what will happen when you buy and then the other 2 families show up. But if the property is worth your while and you say no problem, when they show up, we negotiate, we settle. Imagine if you didn't know, then you had bought, then you will leave it, and then you will go to America for the next 6 months. Then when you come back and you want to show up to go and develop, they are going to show up with sticks and stones and cutlasses and then guns. That is if they've not even resold and built on it. But if you know, you put them on notice that no problem, when they are ready, you are ready to talk. And there are people who find locations worth their while that much. They have that much foresight about that location. They are willing to take that risk. They are willing to still go ahead. Or if you don't ask, how would you know that? If you don't conduct due diligence, how would you know that excision in title that the developers are using to sell to you, the file has just been opened, but they've told you it has file number? The file was opened 6 months ago. If you don't conduct due diligence, there's no way you will know. And it puts you on notice of so many facts that you could not otherwise have known. So here are 5 things you should find out when you conduct due diligence. 5 things you should find out when you conduct due diligence. First, who is the person selling to you? A lot of times, the people you meet are agents and middlemen. they are not the person selling. If they are not the person selling, how are you going to connect with the person selling? How are you going to confirm the authority of the person selling to you to sell? That's one. Two, the person selling to you, how did he come about the land? You should know. You should know. It's your right to know. You should know. You should know. Because that property may have been given to your own seller just for his use, and he doesn't have capacity to sell. It could have been family property. It could have been family property he inherited by will, and the will says that upon his death, it goes back to the general family and he wants to sell. Are you buying anything? You are buying nothing. No. You are buying air. Maybe you will build your own in the air. You are not buying anything. So you must know the person selling to you. Two, the seller of the person selling to you. Three, what kind of title does he have? I have done a series of videos, I think 8 episodes, on real estate title documents. They are all over the channel. Start from this video that is going to explain to you that a survey plan is not a title document. A survey plan is not a title document, because that's the easiest thing to present, and there's a reason why it's easy. But that's not for this video. Go and watch the video where I discussed that. Now, also find out what kind of document they are going to be giving you. Don't be convinced that because you are buying, the person will give you their title documents. They may not give you. Yes, they may not give you. And if you are not the only one, like if it's a plot of land that was divided after the person got their C of O, they are not going to transfer their C of O to you. So find out when you pay, when it's time for you to take over, what kind of title documents are you going to get? Ask them. And also find out, number 5, after you have taken possession, what are you supposed to do? There are places where you will need to pay a community dues for you to be recognized. There are places where you will need to go to the ballet of the area for you to be recognized. There are places where you will need to fence and put a gate. They will give you the size of the fence for you to be recognized. Find out after you buy, what do you need to do? Because that simple small step can vitiate your ownership, can compromise your interest in that real estate. Find out what you need to do after you buy. This is a preliminary video. I will do a second one where I'll go into a bit more detail. Unfortunately, I cannot discuss all in this video. What you can do is you can join my Telegram channel where I discuss real estate, where I can be breaking it down in tiny bits, and I'll be uploading them there for you as voice notes, as text, and things like that. It will be easier for you. Although I'm also going to do a second video where I will also discuss this issue, but it can also not be as intensive, so I don't take too much of your time. If you found value in this video, please stay subscribed, like and share, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.